Business as Unusual is a thought-provoking podcast that explores the innovative strategies, disruptive ideas, and unconventional practices driving successful leaders and companies in the ever-evolving world of modern business. Subscribe, comment, and share for weekly inspiration with our host, Aisala.
This week on Business as Unusual, we're joined by the multi-talented Peggy McCartha, a seasoned entrepreneur coming from the photography industry. Peggy shares her journey from running a successful portrait business to creating collaborative communities. Today, she's focused on the Global Business Plaza, a vibrant ecosystem designed to empower creative entrepreneurs and online businesses. Throughout our conversation, Peggy reveals the secrets to running a profitable business while having fun, the power of community and entrepreneurship, and how the Global Business Plaza is creating meaningful connections and fostering success. Tune in to uncover valuable insights and strategies for thriving. Welcome to Business as Unusual. I'm here today with Peggy McCartha. Peggy is a multi-talented entrepreneur. She had a 20-plus year Portraits by Peggy photography business. She has a community for photographers in education called Time Benders. She has a world creation space called Quintosphere. And currently, she's here today to talk about the Global Business Plaza. Welcome to the show, Peggy.
Thank you. And to clarify one thing, I am actually a certified professional photographer for 36 plus years. Who's counting? What's a decade?
I mean, so you started when you were 6. I
Exactly.
understand that.
Yes.
And Peggy and I've been fortunate enough to be on different projects with Peggy and community with Peggy. And I'm just really delighted that you're able to join me today to talk about the Global Business Plaza because it is such a great space. And I would love for you can obviously talk about all of your businesses, and I would love to have you describe at some point in this moment a little bit more about the Global Business Plaza and why did you create that?
I've been my own boss for over 36 years. And in that, there's been a lot of times where I was very alone. I started obviously before the internet. It's not like you could jump on and co-work with people. So it was a very solitary type of a thing. And I didn't come from corporate America. Right out of high school, I interned with a photographer, and then I immediately started my own studio, my own business. But a lot of people have come from that structure of corporate America where they think, oh, well, I'm really good at this one specific talent, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave corporate and I'm going to make money doing this thing that I'm passionate about, which I believe we all should be doing. I believe that if we all made money doing what we loved, we would live in a happier world. But
I super agree with that.
Exactly. But here's the downside to that is a lot of times people don't understand what it takes to run a business. And so they focus on, well, if I'm the best, for me, a photographer, if I'm the best photographer, people will just show up. They'll just come, right? Like if my prices are right, they think the two main things they think about are their price and their talent. And that's really probably really low on the scale of what it takes to run a business. And so I came to Go Brunch, the platform that I've built the Global Business Plaza on, because I started a community called Time Benders, training creative business people how to run a business because it's two different things. And I'm the first to admit the first 15 years of my business, I was lucky and I ran a very profitable hobby. But when the economy changed, when when the way we consumed photographs changed, I was really scared. I thought I was going to lose my business because I didn't understand what it took to run a business. I was very fortunate that I learned really quick. I was like, all right, I'm going to be a business person. I'm going to do this because my option was that or flipping burgers. Like I had no other education. I had no other place to go with my life. I decided I was going to do this. And I was very fortunate in the fact that I did. I was able to recover and continue my business. However, During the pandemic, I started working with photographers and teaching them a few things. And what I realized is I was not alone in that. A lot of businesses, especially creative businesses, had no idea what it took to run a business. So I started the Time Benders. And then as I was working with creative business people, I met other people also on the Go Brunch platform, and I was seeing the trend. Hey, I'm really good at my thing and I'm really passionate at my thing, but how do I get people to come see me? And so I decided I really wanted to not help business people, but really focus on people that are on this platform that I'm also equally in love with. It's a virtual platform. It's a lot of fun. It's very interactive. But how do we get people to them? So I created the Global Business Plaza, which gets all these different businesses all in one place. And there's a directory, but it's more than just a directory. It's a whole ecosystem. It's its own community. We have networking events. We have workshops. We have get shit done sessions. We have everything to help businesses not be alone and be able to actually run a business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am a member.
You are a member.
Full reveal here, everybody, of the Global Business Plaza, and I really am enjoying the opportunity to network, and as well as the ways it's really bringing me closer to the people that I want to work with. And that's something I'll put in a plug for Peggy here. She's just really good at that. She's really good at building successful and good communities. And so, before you get too embarrassed, will you share a story? Is there a person or an example you can give someone in the plaza and how that's worked for them?
Well, I believe you've actually got some new clients through this. Mm-hmm. There is another person, I'll save her name because I didn't get permission to call her out here, but she wasn't really sure she even liked the Go Brunch platform for really running a business. But I started working with her, and not only has now she built the majority of her business on the platform, but she's like, I can't not be in the Global Business Plaza. Like, she has made so many clients, so many friends. And I think that's the big thing, is when you're on a platform that you love, that's great. Like, having a pretty platform, whether it's a website or whatever it is, having a pretty thing isn't going to really help you. The thing is are you drawing the right people to you, and are you making money? Because at some point, if you're not making money and you're not drawing the correct people to you, it's going to get old and you're going to need to move on. So I think that's one of my goals, is to show people that you can have fun and make money. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work. I'm probably too hands-on because I really do push everybody. I'm like, you need to do this, you need to do this. But the thing is we're seeing results. Tons and tons of businesses are starting to make money, starting to get clients, because we're building this community where we know each other. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you need this? Well, I know somebody that does that. Let me introduce you. And it's that organic introducing people, those referrals that are actually meaningful. And it's not because we have a quota and you have to refer so many people. It's because it just is what happens when you get to know each other and work with each other. And it's just been such a fun thing. Like, I knew it would be effective, but I didn't know I was going to have so much fun. Like, I knew people were going to grow and their businesses would be highlighted and they could do things, but I didn't know that I personally was going to enjoy myself as much as I do. Like, all of the people that are in the plaza are just top-notch business people. They're geniuses. They all are just so amazing. And when you give them permission to be amazing, it's a wonderful experience.
I think that's a definition of success I can get behind, having fun while being successful. I mean, you know how I am about games. So.
Right.
You do a lot of work with creative entrepreneurs and online businesses. Would you share a couple tips that you have seen? You've shared some, so you could just summarize those if you wanted. A couple of things that you could say, wow, these are things that I've really noticed that have helped people to be successful while having fun.
I 100% believe that we were not meant to do business alone. I think that business is a team sport. I think that I did business alone for many, many years. I watched my parents do business pretty much alone for many, many years. And I know how lonely that can be. I mean, statistics say the suicide rates for entrepreneur is just skyrocketed for any other kind of career, because it can be so isolating, and you put all of your hopes and dreams into this one thing, and then if you can't pay your bills, it's just devastating. So when you surround yourself with people that are, one, encouraging to you, but two, they are really good at something that you're not in your business. So they can teach you, or you can help each other. You find that person. We have an amazing marketer in our community, and she is a genius at doing that. And I hate marketing. I don't like, even though I'm a visual person, I am a photographer, I hate creating social media posts and all the cute little fancy things. That is not where I want to spend my time. And she loves it, and she's good at it, and she makes it easy and fun. And she's like, oh, let me just make templates that you could use. It's like, okay. Mm-hmm. And you meet those people, and sometimes it's like you hire another person. Sometimes you help them and they help you. But the thing is you are no longer alone, and you don't have to feel like a failure, because you realize that there's those things in business that you're really, really good at. Mm-hmm. Some people are really, really good at networking. Some people are great at networking, but terrible at following up. And other people are good at that. So we remind each other, hey, it's the whole package. We all have to do these things. And when you're in that and you're reminding each other, hey, let's do this. Let's work on this together. It just elevates. When one rises, we all rise. And it's an amazing feeling to have a bunch of friends that 3 months ago you didn't even know, and now you can't imagine not talking to them at least once a week, if not more, and going and checking out what they're doing. And I believe that that's really the key. Another key is, I 100% believe that if you are passionate about something, you already have everything inside of you that you need to make it happen, including the connections and the people that you're going to come in contact with in your lifetime that are there for a reason to help you succeed in what you want to do. I think if you can dream it, you can do it. If it's something you want to do it because you have that gift.
I second that. I love it. Thank you. What does success look like for you?
Success, I'm grandma now. I'm grandma 2 times. And so success has changed over the years. And I think success is an ever evolving definition. But success to me right now is freedom. Freedom to be able to travel and see my grandkids, freedom to be able to travel with my husband and go do fun things, and make sure that everybody's taken care of, and make sure that the people that I care about are taken care of. Because we've talked about this a lot. I love empowering other businesses to succeed. And when I see other people succeeding, that means that I too am successful, because I had a part in that. And so I feel like success is really watching the people that I love moving forward all the time.
Yeah. This is my new favorite question. What advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
My 18-year-old self was already doing her first internship, learning to be a photographer. I think I would have given my 18-year-old self permission to not be perfect, and to realize that understanding business is something that is important, Because at 18, I was like, I'm a photographer. I don't need any of that nonsense. I just need to be really good. It was all about the picture. It was all about the experience. It was all about capturing these images. And I really, honestly, 100% believed that was the most important part. And I wasted a lot. I left a lot of money on the table the first 15 years of my life because I had a lot of clients and I was very busy, and I had no clue how to actually turn that into a decent pricing structure, to turn that into anything that would have been really life-changing and business-changing. So I would focus on the business and focus on not being perfect.
That's really great advice. And I will say also, what you made me think of something. Several years ago, I was trying to hire someone for a job through the nonprofit that I worked with. And I literally couldn't get them to let me hire them. And so when you said that, leaving money on the table, I thought it was so interesting that they were so committed to the mission and what they were doing. They legitimately couldn't hear me saying, "We have funds, we can hire you." Those words. There was always like almost a deflection. Well, what about giving me more education instead of simply saying, okay. I was going to second that, like, when you forget that you're in business, and I was going to say whether I'm guilty of this or not, you can sometimes respond to a direct inquiry with basically talking the person out of spending money with you, which is they're going to spend it somewhere. Mm-hmm. They have a need, but you actually can talk them out of it.
100%. And I was guilty of that beyond. I was also guilty of telling people, like, people hiring me, but not actually getting the money.
Yeah.
Like, they would come, I would do a photo shoot and nothing was said, and they would leave, and I'd be like, well, that's weird, they didn't pay me. And then, I would maybe email them like, hey, I need you to pay me. And it was nothing for me in the early 2000s to have invoices out for $3,000 to $5,000 all the time. All the time. I had that much money out there that was not actually being collected because I had no idea. Now you're paying me before I work. Now it's all signed, it's all set up, it's all, because that's part of running a business. But I've also been guilty of just literally talking people out of it or talking people down. They want this, and I'm like, I could probably do this, and this, and this. And they came in wanting this big package, and I talk them down to, And that's because I didn't realize I was running a business. I thought, I'm trying to do this thing that I'm passionate about, and I want them to like me, and I want to make sure. And you start talking out of your own pocketbook, your own wallet, instead of saying, hey, this is my service. This is what I charge. I mean, if you go to the grocery store, they don't care what you can afford and what you can't. These are the prices. And if you want the thing, then you need to pay the price. And that's a tough lesson to learn for a lot of creatives, because we don't like money. We don't like that money conversation. And until you get that figured out and in place, then it's tough. But once you get a system and you realize, hey, this is what I do, the first thing I say is, how will we be paying for that?
Yep. I think that's great advice. And it is true. Like, a lot of creatives, and I feel like there's also this idea that if you love something, you shouldn't need to be paid for it.
The starving artist syndrome.
Well, and just even moms, like we don't value childcare. We don't want to pay childcare providers a living wage, or trying to think. There's many things. Teachers. There's a lot of things where people show up in service, and we sort of as a society in some ways diminish that your passion, your joy, and your service are somehow going to replace the need for income. And I do agree that fulfillment has its own reward. However, I can't give my fulfillment to gas station. to drive my car or whatever. So until we have a little more like fulfillment in the regular commerce world, we can't just rely on that for things that bring us joy and passion projects.
Yeah, the bank seems to want cash for the mortgage, not happiness and fulfillment. It's weird, right?
Weird. I mean, I think it's wrong for sure, and it's the world we live in. That's what we're dealing with.
Exactly.
What's something you're excited about in the Global Business Plaza? Are there any events coming up or new deals or anything on the calendar that you want to let people know about?
March 11th and 12th is the World Building Expo. Now, that's not necessarily part of the Global Business Plaza, but it's actually what inspired the Global Business Plaza. And this is our 1-year anniversary. I do these expos every single quarter. So this will be the 5th expo. Now in December, we had 64 exhibitors, 64 booths in the World Building Expo, and 387 attendees. And normally the expo is a 2-day event. In December, because of all the holidays, it was just a 1-day event. So imagine how many people come when it is a 2-day event. It is a time of inspiration, a time of networking, and a time to stumble upon your new best friend or that person that you've been looking for, that it has all the answers to your questions, whether it be a coach, a consultant, who knows what it is. But we have so many businesses that show up, and it's a lot of fun. It is like any other kind of expo. It is, I believe it is the biggest virtual expo out there. So it is a lot of fun. You can go pick up a ton of freebies and meet a lot of people just like you would in a real live expo. And the reason that it was the inspiration for the Global Business Plaza is that's what I wanted the expo to be, is a place to shine a light on these businesses. But the expo only happens once a quarter, and it really wasn't enough. That expo grew into the Global Business Plaza. So at the expo, you will be seeing a ton of people from the Global Business Plaza, and you will get to talk to them and find out how awesome it is to be a part of an amazing community.
I'll be there. I already have it on my calendar.
Yes, you will.
I even have things on your calendar.
You do.
So you have a couple, I know that since we are podcasters, would you talk a little bit about the Voices of the Plaza?
Ooh, I would love to talk about the Voices of the Plaza. One of the things I do with the Global Business Plaza is I want to give voices to the businesses in the plaza. So every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we go live and we focus, we spotlight one business from the plaza, and they get to tell us about what they do, tell us a little bit about their journey. And it's always a time of discovery for me, because I think I know these people, and then I ask them a question and I'm like, well, I didn't know that about you. It's a really fun, it's a real conversational podcast, and it really lets you get to know what these people are up to, how they are using their platform and their virtual business. A lot of these businesses are hybrid. They do in-person and virtual, and some are just virtual. We have e-commerce, we have coaches, we have, I mean, you name it. We have a huge diversity. We have media people, just the amount of diversity and fun things that we come across.
And for folks who are listening, how do they learn more, follow you, get in touch, join the plaza?
The best way to find me is go to globalbusinessplaza.com and check it out. That's the plaza. And scroll down all the way to the bottom. There's a searchable directory. But all the way at the top on the left-hand side, there's a little button that says find out if we are good for you. And click on that and schedule a tour with me. I would love to show off the Global Business Plaza, talk to you about what you're doing with your business, and see if you might be a fit.
Well, thank you so much for talking about your awesome creation, which I have personally benefited from, and catching us up on what's coming up. See you guys. So tomorrow, everybody, check out the expo, and I'll talk to you next week.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun. I can't wait to see you guys at the expo.
If you enjoyed Peggy's passion for community as much as I do, then go check out the Global Business Plaza at globalbusinessplaza.com. Discover there how you can be part of a supportive ecosystem that moves you from surviving to flourishing. Next week on Business as Unusual, join me and guest Aviva Lebeau. We delve into the transformative power of mindset shifts and the collaborative magic within peer groups to overcome leadership challenges. And thank you for tuning in to Business as Unusual. Remember, in this ever-evolving world of modern business, it's not about fitting in, it's about standing out. See you next time. Stay curious, stay innovative, and always keep it unusual. I hope you enjoy the show. I love making it. If you did enjoy it, consider hopping over to the review portion of the platform you listen on and letting other people know about it. Or share the episode or the entire show with a friend or subscribe to the show. Definitely reach out, get on my newsletter, follow me on social media, and let me know what you like, what you don't like, and what you'd like to see in the future. Well, we love our guests. Appearance on the Business as Unusual podcast or any Bicurean consulting production is for information purposes only and is not to be considered an endorsement of their business practices, or character. Please properly vet anyone you find through this podcast and generally before you do any business with them. Thank you for listening.